Australian authorities are investigating a possible perjury offense committed by Amber Heard during a court case in 2016. Local officers may seek assistance from the FBI, as most of the witnesses reside overseas. The investigation came about after Heard lost a high-profile defamation trial against ex-husband Johnny Depp. Certain information was disclosed during that trial that raised questions about the truthfulness of the 36-year-old's evidence. Perjury is a criminal offense that carries a maximum penalty of 14 years imprisonment. To prove perjury, the prosecution must establish beyond reasonable doubt that Amber Heard made a false statement. The statement was on oath, and the statement was in connection with a judicial proceeding. Unfortunately for Amber, the Australian court has been able to find 10 counts of evidence where she committed perjury. So what exactly did they find? And how will this evidence affect Amber Heard's possible appeal? Lie number 1.
I flew in, I arrived early. Immediately, I walked into the bedroom. I was so excited to see him. And he was so, like, he had lost a ton of weight. I just knew something was up.
Amber implied that Johnny got so skinny because he was taking drugs and alcohol again. But the reality is that he trimmed down a bit in preparation for Pirates 5. The weight loss was actually not as dramatic as she made it out to be. Lie number 2.
Stop doing this, please. It causes me so much stress. I'm gonna die at this age. I'm gonna die. You're causing me so much stress. Please stop.
Amber Heard described being held in a 3-day hostage station where she endured physical and psychological violence from Johnny Depp, who fell into a drug and alcohol binge, as she gave evidence at the High Court. She began, "The best way I can describe what happened in Australia is that it was like a 3-day hostage situation. We were due to be there for 3 days on our own, but it was only when I arrived that I realized I was trapped in this remote place without any means to leave, and that Johnny had already been using and had a bag of drugs." This alleged hostage incident took place from March 6th until March 8th. However, Deuters, Debbie, and Dr. Kipper were all present on March 7th, the day after she had supposedly been shoved, choked, and flung across the room, and they said there was no sign of abuse on either. Another thing that proves this was a lie was there were 2 security guards taking shifts right outside their house 24/7, as testified by Ben King. Amber could have easily escaped when she had barricaded herself in the bedroom, which had another door that led to the outside area, but instead she took pills to help her sleep. Lie number 3. Amber testified that Johnny never wanted a prenup, nor did it ever come up in conversation. Of course this isn't true. Texts between Dr. Cowan and Dr. Kipper show that Johnny did in fact confirm his need for a prenup, which set Amber off. Have been fighting non-stop since he confirmed his need for a prenup on their way to the airport going to Japan to promote his movie. She tried to push up the date of the wedding to avoid all this, but the reality is he'll need a prenup. If she fails to sign, they won't get married, the text reads. Amber deliberately tried to avoid signing the prenup, and she succeeded until she was hit with the idea of a postnup, which was the impetus of the big fight in Australia. Lie number 4. Amber has described a completely different account of how Depp severed his finger. In May 2016, Heard claimed that Depp injured his hand punching a wall during an argument they had in Australia in March 2015. However, in August 2016, Heard claimed that Johnny, who was drunk and high at the time, had smashed several bottles, windows, and also a plastic phone against the wall. This was when one piece of the items cut off a portion of the middle finger on his right hand. Fast forward to April 2019. Amber had a completely different recollection of how Depp's finger got severed. "Scared for my life, I told Johnny, 'You were hurting and cutting me.' Johnny ignored me, continuing to hit me with the back of one closed hand and slamming a hard plastic phone against a wall with his other until it was smashed to smithereens. While smashing his phone, Johnny severely injured his finger, cutting the tip off it," Amber said. Lie number 5.
She admits to me she threw a bottle. She did it first. She admits to me that, and I said to her, "Last second," she says, "That's a really beautiful thing to do in my temper."
Amber stated that Johnny taunting her by drinking wine and taking a bunch of drugs in front of her was the reason they started fighting, and that he was the one who initiated a physical fight. However, she confessed to Jerry Judge that she was the one to hit first. Lie number 6. Amber claimed she had to hide and barricade herself in the bedroom to escape the fight with Johnny during the 3-day hostage ordeal. She took what he did and made it hers. She reversed the roles. Luckily, there are tapes to prove that he was actually the one trying to escape from her.
Australia, when we had the big fight where I lost the tip of my finger, at least 5 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms.
To avoid talking to me, to
To
avoid
escape
working it
the-
out. That's
to
the
escape
problem.
the fight.
You don't escape the fight. You escape the solution.
No.
You escape the solution.
No.
Lie number 7. Amber originally testified to sustaining physical injuries from being choked, punched, and dragged through glass. But years later, she added sexual abuse allegations in her testimony. Lie number 8.
That's scratches on her left arm, which Debbie told me about. Quick look at it, and I've seen those scratches before on a lot of people, and it's not only they're self-inflicted. I'm convinced about it, they're self-inflicted.
Amber claimed she had cuts all over her body from being dragged through glass, arms and feet, a busted lip, and a broken nose. However, Jerry Judge, Dr. Kipper, Debbie, and Ben King, who were all at the scene after Johnny lost his finger, were more concerned about finding the missing chunk of Johnny's finger rather than tending to Amber's wounds. And maybe it's because there weren't any. Jerry only noted that there were some scratches on her that looked self-inflicted to him. Amber's description of her injuries were also not consistent with images of her taken after the incident. She made it seem like the injuries were serious, but pictures taken only a month after the incident show that only her self-inflicted wounds were visible. Lie number 9. Amber had made claims that Johnny had not slept for days, was speaking incoherently, and had gone into psychosis due to drugs. But people who also happened to be there at the time did not collaborate with Heard's claims. Instead, they claimed that he sounded angry and hurt, as one would be after suffering injury. Lie number 10.
How big of a piece of skin are you looking for?
We're looking at this. We're looking at like a third of the tip of the finger. And it's that, I mean, he's going to get cellulitis. That loves him, but we'll go through.
300 grams?
So I'll tell you what's something that happened. This is guilt. This is guilt.
Amber Heard denied that she was the cause of Johnny Depp's severed finger, but in the recording from Australia, she is heard in the background wailing and saying that she did not mean to hurt him. Johnny thinks it's my fault. What do I do? The Aquaman actress began, then went on to add, I never meant to hurt him. I didn't do it on purpose. According to Dr. Kipper, her hysterical behavior in the recording as a display of guilt. No, I'll tell you what's suddenly happening with her. This is guilt. This is guilt, he said. Lie number 11. In her testimony, Heard said that it was Jerry Judge who started the recording in Australia, but after listening to it, was proved beyond reasonable doubt that Amber was the one recording, since her voice was so close to the device, indicating that she had picked it and dropped it to stop the recording.
Jerry? Since we don't have the hotel yet,
All the lies that Amber made in her testimony may cause her to be extradited to Australia to face potential perjury charges. But now we would love to hear from you. Do you think Amber Heard will be jailed due to perjury? How will this ultimately affect her career? Let us know in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching.